Hi and welcome to the second lesson in the social stratification topic, and this lesson we're going to look at the functionalist perspective. So hopefully by the end of the lesson you'll be able to describe and explain what the functionalist theory is about social stratification and explain role allocation and the research of Davis and Moore, who are one of our key studies. So as a starter, how many keywords to do with functionalism can you remember? So this can be from our intro topic that we did, from education and from the family. So come up with a list of how many key functionalist words you can come up with. As with all the previous lessons, feel free to work through this at your own pace, pause it. The PowerPoint that goes along with this is in the shared area, as well as the worksheets that you will need. So key concepts that we're going to look at would be meritocracy and nepotism. So our first key area that we're going to look at is something called role allocation. Now we did this when we looked at the education topic. So functionalists basically think that for society to function properly, roles need to be allocated to the kind of best people with the right talents and the right skills. And basically to motivate those most talented people, you need to have some form of rewards promise, for instance. So if we have a look, so for a bin man, the average salary is roughly up to about £20,000. Whereas if you are a GP, the average salary is around £65,000. So do you think that this is fair? If so, why would you argue it is or isn't? So following on with Davis and Moore then, they basically argued that role allocation was a form of social stratification. And if you remember from last lesson, social stratification is the way we the society is layered or segregated and separated out. So they think that there is unequal rewards attached to different positions in society. So by giving lots of rewards, such as things like status, income, to those roles that are really functionally important, e.g. things like doctors, Davis and Moore argued that people with the necessary talent would go toward those jobs and be encouraged to compete for them. They believed that society was a meritocracy. Again, that's a keyword that we used in the education topic. So this means that if you work really hard, that the most talented should get the highest status, the highest rewards. So to support this, if you think about courses at university like medicine, for every one university place for medicine, there are 10 people that apply for it. So you can see that there is a competition, there is a talent there, and this there has to be the right people for that job and the best people for those kind of jobs. So thinking about everything that we've done with Davis and Moore for this and for education, is society meritocratic? Is it based on if you are the smartest, if you are the hardest working, do you get the highest rewards? So to follow this on, Davis and Moore came up with the idea that social stratification was necessary for society to work. And they believed that for any society to survive and operate, it was necessary for it to have 4 key things. So think about, do these things happen in our society? So the first one is that all roles must be filled. So we can't have everyone doing the really desirable roles and not doing the less desirable roles. All roles need to be filled. They must be filled by those who are able to perform them best. So think about how our society works. Do we have the best people in the best positions? Necessary training must take place, and all roles must be performed conscientiously. This means that people are doing their jobs well, they're putting time and effort into it. They're not just turning up and just doing it, and they actually put time and effort into their jobs. So do you agree with what Davis and Moore are saying? Do you think these 4 things happen in our society? So activity-wise, there is a gap fill here with some key ideas for Davis and Moore. This is on the last slide of the PowerPoint and in the shared area. And what I'd like you to do is try and draw around your hand, and in the middle have Davis and Moore, and on each of your finger a key idea summarising what they are saying. This should help and be nice and visual with your revision. So criticisms then. There are lots of criticisms of Davis and Moore's theory. Some of them, hopefully, you would have come out. So, first one, functional importance is difficult to establish. So, what would you say are the most important jobs in society? Because a lot of sociologists can't agree on what actually the most functionally important jobs are. I would obviously argue teaching, medicine, all of those are quite important jobs. Tooman, who's another sociologist, pointed out that, engineers in charge of a factory are important, but actually you need factory workers. So, for instance, you could argue teachers are important, but we couldn't do our jobs without everybody else there that's supporting us in terms of TAs, admin support, catering support, cleaners. All of those people, enable us to do our jobs. So, can you argue this really? So what I would like you to do is to come up with 4 criticisms. Now, you can use page 220 to 221 in the book. I've done a worksheet of this in the shared area for you to use and to come up with what are the 4 criticisms. So, the final thing I'd like you to have a go at is outline 4 types of social stratification in society. So how do we divide society? Think about what we did last lesson. And could you give me 4 reasons why do Davis and Moore, What 4 reasons do Davis and Moore give for social stratification being necessary? Why is it necessary? So, I'd like to have a go at those, complete the activities in your book, and let me know if you have any issues. Right, hope you're all well. Bye!